All right, y'all. Two Peas and a Bong in the building again. It's your boy DP.
It's your boy KP.
And trying to figure out what to do now that football season's over. It's your boy Bong. Trying to figure out what to do now that
Uh
football
oh, who
season's
we
over.
who
Oh,
we
oh,
got with?
That was me.
okay.
All right, man, did y'all do anything for Valentine's Day, man?
Paid a couple bills, man.
I'm like anything, you know,
uh, no.
something.
Nothing special, man. Draft season is upon us.
Engineer in the building. Draft season is upon us. It certainly is.
Truly is. Truly is.
Um,
Ooh.
man, so little soundtrack drop for y'all if y'all is planning to play some music for your ladies, man, on V Day.
Oh wow.
Mm,
No,
mm,
anybody got any idea what I'm talking about? Maybe
mm.
Yeah.
Could it have something to do
some
with a
sexy
party?
songs for your girl, or you know.
Something with a party next door or something like that?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. So, man, Drake and Party Next Door with the some sexy songs for you. Um, did y'all check out the album? Yeah.
I did.
Whew.
And I see Bong bracing himself. What are the thoughts about this, man?
Man, go ahead, Kev. I'll let you have the floor.
I thought Bond was gonna start talking like Most Def. We're shopping. We're in Target.
We're in Target, right? Drake is
Yeah,
playing.
yeah. Ooh, we've got these bags. um, Definitely wasn't hip hop.
Yeah.
This is it's an acquired taste.
Okay.
It's a real acquired taste. It is doing good on the billboards and streaming and all of that, but it just goes to show the fandom that Drake has. Um, but there were only a couple songs on there I liked.
Hmm.
Not my cup of tea,
Okay.
but nonetheless, it is doing good in terms of sales and stuff like that.
Did you
Um.
expect otherwise in terms of the sales?
When you look at the history of rap beefs in the past, rappers don't really do good when they lose the rap battles and they lose the rap beefs. So, I was wondering if his sales were going to take a hit. I was wondering. So I can't say that I anticipated it or I didn't anticipate it. I was just kind of wondering in a wait and see kind of phase.
Okay.
Um, and when it happened, I was just like, oh, yeah. I mean, Kanye said it like, you know, you can't kill Drake.
Hmm.
That's what he was saying in terms of the beef. Like, Drake will be back.
Okay.
Um. So I feel slightly different. Again,
Mm.
I wasn't able to listen. I wasn't able to listen to all. Was it 22 songs? It was
Hmm. Hmm.
21 or 22 songs. Too long of an album. Uh, Drake started, and maybe he has done this previously. He started kind of experimenting with the auto tune. I wasn't really a fan of that. I think that this album was basically put together to come out and to gauge the response of the public post beef, right? Like, can we still do numbers? And um, first week sales came in, he sold about 249,000 copies in the first week. So, to the average artist, that's a success,
Hmm.
all right? In comparison to GNX, Kendrick's last album, it sold 319,000 copies.
Hmm.
So, if we're just comparing one artist to another, it didn't sell as well as Kendrick. It's but they hid behind, or they can hide behind, oh, this isn't a Drake solo project. This is Party Next Doors.
It's a
This is Party.
collaboration.
or it's Party's album, right? And
Okay. Yeah.
Drake is basically just featured on there. Um, so in
And then
comparison,
it go ahead. In
go ahead,
comparison.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and then what you saying that does that? Do you think that it's a deliberate move by Drake to kind of separate himself from the beef or distance himself from the beef with
He's
Kendrick?
he's I can't say that he is, or maybe he is, but he's not doing a good job because every time he's touring in Australia right now, and I think it's probably the best thing for him because he's getting flambéed out here in the states, right? You know what I'm saying? He can't go anywhere and escape the they not like us,
Hmm.
whatever GNX, everything that's going on with Kendrick. But what I was going to tell you in comparison to, right? So he did 249 first week sales.
Hmm.
Some of his other albums, Scorpion album did 732,000. Nothing was the same did 658,000. Thank Me Later did 447,000 first week. So now compare those numbers, those are Drake numbers, right?
Hmm.
Those are
Hmm.
so again, we're trying to say, hey, yeah, he had a great week. He debuted number one. That's fine. Um, I think Kendrick the week before re-entered number one after the Super Bowl.
He did. He
So
did.
I
He did.
so not even just to talk about Drake, but remember we were talking about the Super Bowl and there was mixed reviews. People said, it was some people saw it as great because of all the symbolism, but some people didn't like, the song selection. Well,
Hmm.
Kendrick had like all the songs, I think all the songs that he performed re-entered into like the top 100 in Billboard. A lot of them were in
Hmm.
the top 10. The video, the the halftime show on the NFL's page is I think the seventh most watched video on the NFL's YouTube page in history already. 12 days
Crazy.
in. Okay, so Kendrick did a lot of things right. For all the people that said, "Oh man, it was a terrible show," I beg to differ.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I want to make a quick little. I'll let you speak real quick, DP. And I have one thing I want to compare this little Drake Kendrick thing to.
Well, I was just gonna ask, um, when you talked about the album releases, do you think that the time frame has anything to do with the numbers, the change in the numbers in the way that music is consumed nowadays? Because you were talking about some releases were like 2010. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And even technology wise, if we go back 3 years, shit is different. 5 years, shit is different in the way people consume and stream and all of that stuff. I would have to really like break shit down and see like how it counts, or because the way they release music is different, the way music is consumed is different. So that's all I'm saying in terms of like album releases and how they compare to different ones. But
yeah,
but that
no, for
that
sure.
was that was one thing, and then the other one was when Kevin, I think KP mentioned something about something Kanye said, but I think I forget what song I was listening to. I don't know if it was was it cry is it called Crying in Chanel? Is that one of the tracks? I think it was I think that was it. But it kind of gave me the vibes of 808s and Heartbreak, um, the Kanye album. So I was like,
Mhm.
damn, is it and it was a couple other songs that kind of,
Crying
that kind of had
Chanel is a song.
that kind of
Crying
had that
Chanel is.
that vibe, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know. I like I said, like Kevin said, it wasn't necessarily my cup of tea, you know what I'm saying? But it's a couple tracks on there that I could rock with.
Yeah.
And again, I just went through, and it's 21 songs. I went through, um, listened to some, and it was kind of one of them things where I don't know. When's the last album y'all just sat down and was like, "Damn, I'm about to let this shit roll, like start to finish."
Ooh.
Well, I
Like
mean,
like no interruption, and just like bam, this is
Yeah.
I ran GNX front to back.
okay.
I probably say it was one song, maybe one song on there that I wasn't feeling, but they've made it such a commercial album now that everything, again, TikTok era, everybody's got a video to go with it. The Super Bowl helped because now, like, that kind of gave it more, gave it even more, explosion, as far as like where people is songs where people don't really talk about, where now it's like, okay, it's okay to talk about Peekaboo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to talk about some of the cuts on there that normally wouldn't track. Now, you were saying that that the numbers can have something to do with how people are consuming music. So, just to give you context, in 2021, Drake dropped CLB, Certified Lover Boy. That
Mhm.
dropped 613,000 first week. Then you go, in 2023, October 2023, for all the dogs was the last album before the beef that Drake dropped, and that
Mm-hmm.
did 402,000. So
What
again,
about the what about the
And
2022
that's a
album?
difference.
What about the
which
2022 album though?
which one?
The what is it? Honestly, never mind. And the reason I'm asking about that album because that was more of a like techno album.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was it was it was a different feel, a different sound, which
yeah.
I'm saying this last album with Party Next Door isn't really hip hop either. It's more pop than anything.
Right, right,
So
right, right.
I'd be curious to know more of that
I'll let you know right now.
because again, I'm saying I believe that I don't know if I think the beef had something to do with it, but I
Mm-hmm.
also believe that the album is just an acquired taste.
Okay.
So your hip hop people are like, nah, he wasn't bodying tracks like that.
So like, but is it your like opinion that the beef does fuck
I
with the
believe it
sale
play.
like it
Oh
does?
yeah, I believe it plays
Okay.
a
So
part.
you
Yes,
saying
yeah,
that coupled with it being an
yeah,
acquired taste is like,
yes,
two knocks on the album.
absolutely. And to answer your question, you said the last album I listened to all the way through would probably be for me. It's been a long time. I'm probably gonna go Fade to Black,
Mm,
or yeah, I'm gonna probably go Fade to Black, where
mm.
I listen to that. I could listen to that all the way through. I could, yeah. That's
So,
that's a hell of an
Okay.
album.
Okay.
this is, so honestly, Nevermind was did 204,000 copies first week, or first week sales. Sorry, but again, it was a honestly, Nevermind was a sound that Drake had never done. Like, it was
Mhm.
just some. I don't think he had. He may have had. Did he have any radio success or any hits that were like considered radio hits on there? I think he might have had one with 21 Savage, um, Jimmy something or another. But this album right here was Party Next Door,
Mhm.
um, and Drake. Like, those are two big names as far as like rap and R&B.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to compare that to Honestly Nevermind. You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel like those are, I don't know what he was going for with the Honestly Nevermind album. I didn't listen to anything
Uh,
except the one it's one song on there with 21 Savage that I listened to, but other than that, it just had no. Yeah,
So
like you said, it was a house album. This is an
yeah,
R&B, and this is a hip hop and R&B
but
album.
right. So
no,
then
no, no.
Bong,
This
then
is
are
hip
you
hop. This
are
is
you
Ubang. This isn't hip hop.
but Bong, are you, with that being said, are you like, shit, I'm expecting the fans of Party Next Door plus Drake to be coming
Exactly,
together to make this
exactly,
So
shit like a,
exactly,
best of both
explode,
worlds.
pause,
Jay
you
Z,
know.
Jay Z, R. Kelly, best of both
Right.
worlds.
And on
exactly.
top of that, the strategic release around, like I said, I started asking y'all, what did y'all do for Valentine's Day? But the strategic release around this, that
Yeah,
date and time, you know, some sexy songs for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, let me let this ride with whoever I'm rocking with, and then,
And
as you say, Kevin, it's an acquired taste, and you like, wait,
yeah,
this ain't really.
hey,
yeah.
and to what I was trying to say earlier, if I had to equate it to anything, now we all remember the movie. We're old enough to remember the movie Trading Places,
Mm-hmm.
right? Came out
Absolutely.
1983. Eddie Murphy, Dan
Dan
Aykroyd.
Aykroyd. Yeah.
Okay. Um, in the movie, Dan Aykroyd is his character's name is Lewis Winthorpe the third.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's like a commodities broker, right? Super
Yes.
rich, super wealthy. Um, and Eddie Murphy's character is Billy Ray Valentine,
Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
old street hustle,
Billy Ray Valentine.
right?
Yeah.
So then you have um, Randolph and Mortimer Duke, the Duke brothers, and they were basically they ran a commodities firm, which um, Lewis Winthorpe III worked for,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that what we're seeing here is the movie Trading Places, right? They made a bet. So okay, excuse me, Randolph and Mortimer Duke made a bet, and the bet was they could, if they change the person's environment or change some things about the person's environment, could they take one person that was super successful and turn them into a criminal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like a street thug, and take a hustler, street thug type, you know what I'm saying, criminal, and make him a successful um, Wall Street broker,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think the comparisons are the Duke brothers is UMG,
Mm.
right? And for years, UMG had Drake, who is Lewis Winthorpe III,
Mm-hmm.
right? Successful, big, high, you know what I'm saying? Super wealthy, can have it all. Like nothing goes wrong, right?
Yeah,
I
knocking
gave you
knocking
all this.
everything out the box.
Exactly. I gave
Yeah.
you all his album sales, right? He's damn near going platinum in week one,
Mm-hmm.
600,000 in an era where you don't necessarily go platinum as quickly as you did in the past, because in the past it was just hard copies. Now you have the
Right.
digital streaming era, and it kind of skews things.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to Kendrick. Obviously, I'm a huge Kendrick fan, and Kendrick has critical acclaim. Kendrick has success across the board for years past, right? But in this example, he is my boy
Billy Ray
Billy
Valentine.
Ray Valentine, okay,
Mm-hmm.
right? And UMG just made a bet. Can we, if we strip Drake of everything that he is, take away all his friends? Nobody's talking about the Drake feature no more. Nobody stood up and came to Drake's defense during the beef, right? We take away all his cachet, all his fandom, all that stuff. Can we take him and turn him into somebody that is got to go to Australia to feel the love, while in turn turning Kendrick into the Wall Street
An
guy,
icon.
in this example, it would be the commercial artist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when the Super Bowl happened, everybody said, "Hey man, you should have played some of your old classics. You should have played a lot of the, swimming pools. You should have played Damn. You should have played We Gonna Be All Right. All the other stuff." Kendrick said, "No, no, 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 no. I'm about to play the game because I already know UMG has probably made that dollar bet. I'm gonna play all my new stuff that's never been heard before." And initially, there was a lot of criticism, a lot of skepticism about it. Um, and shortly thereafter, every one of the songs blew back up.
Mm-hmm.
The album, which had been out for 12 weeks already, shoots back to number one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, hold on, man, it's the underground rapper. He don't. This beef was going on basically the 8 months in 2024 and in the beginning of 2025. Kendrick has spoken publicly like once or twice. This is the underground rapper. He's not the commercial guy. He's not the one that's trying to get commercial success. I often compare him to Chappelle and say that Drake is like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart has to stay on the scene around the clock to keep notoriety. Dave Chappelle, he'll pop out once every 6, 7 years. Or
I like that comparison.
or Chris Rock, he pops out once every 6 or 7 years, and you know what I'm saying, they still have their notoriety, they still have their fame and acclaim. So yeah, you turn Kendrick into the commercial artist, and he hasn't said shit for damn near a year. So
But
is this trading places?
is it UMG that stripped Drake though, or is it Kendrick
Yes.
who actually stripped Drake?
And
So
for those that don't know UMG, Universal Music Group,
is a
because there may be
distributor,
someone out there that doesn't
Yeah,
know.
and
Yeah.
and
yeah.
they are a distributor for Drake. I believe they're a
Hmm.
distributor for Taylor Swift. They are they are a distributor for Kendrick Lamar on
Mm-hmm.
his under his PG Lang record label. UMG is the number one reason why Drake is a household name.
And so then in turn, are you're saying also they are the number one reason why Kendrick is doing what he's doing?
I believe that the same push they gave Drake for all those years, the reason that Drake feels he's untouchable, the reason that Drake walked into this battle and dropped his nuts and thought that there was nothing that could be done to stop him or hurt him, is the reason why Drake is losing right now, because they just pulled back all those commodities. Like, nah, we're not
Well,
gonna give you the extra radio spins. We're not gonna push your music. You know what I'm saying? And now at, during the NBA games, we're hearing Drake playing us out to break. Now you listen to the NBA games or you watch the NBA games, Kendrick is playing us out.
mm-hmm,
They
mm-hmm,
they playing old Kendrick, new Kendrick. If you go on a lot of these international soccer stadiums, they're putting up "Not Like Us."
mm-hmm.
I was in one of my group chats and I said that people thought that white people didn't want to hear Kendrick at the Super Bowl. They were dismissive of it. I said, what Kendrick playing all his new shit and plus playing "They Not Like Us" at the Super Bowl did is it's going to make "They Not Like Us." It's going to turn it into the dab. You remember when Atlanta
Yeah.
niggas did the dab
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
Cam brought it
Yeah.
to the NFL, and the next thing you know,
Yeah.
white folks doing it at church and doing it on sales calls and the shit they doing it backwards, fucking it up. Like he's gonna give people, he's gonna give people like "Not Like Us" is getting played by the people that
Everybody.
know. But
Like,
listen, the definition of "Not Like Us," it meant to the people that know what it means. Y'all not like us. It's
yeah,
being played by the people that are not like
not like it.
us.
Yeah.
Like
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
so.
Which is a double entendre in itself. You know what I'm saying? Um but let's not say Kendrick playing that. Because
No, I
niggas
didn't.
act
No, no,
like
no,
yeah, I'm just
no.
saying niggas act like Kendrick made everything happen. Did you see Drake trip on the way to
Yeah,
performing in Australia? That nigga Kendrick must have had something on the steps out there, man. Like, come on, man, calm down. Like, damn.
hey,
Hey, but look, to
but
your point, engineer says something, man. Um, he says, I'm starting to think the whole celebrity thing is a sham. You're only famous if they want you to be to some extent. So that's kind of speaking to what you were saying, Bong,
What
in
he said.
terms of yeah, in terms of being stripped of the support that UMG, and the push that UMG has. So that's kind of exactly what engineer is saying here. But
yeah,
um, I mean, I hear what you're saying. What I was asking, I understand the stripping of the support, but it was kind of like did Kendrick already strip some of you know the powers away or to take some of the steam away with what he was doing, and then here comes
I think.
here comes UMG. Because if you look at it from a business standpoint, if Drake is the cash cow, and I know you were using the
trading
the
places.
movie, the Trading Places example, but what business sense does it make for someone to not push the
The
It's
one, you
product.
know what I
it's
mean?
it's it's
Yeah.
the it's the belief, it's the ultimate belief at the highest level that we can make another you. Remember, remember what Hove said?
Yeah,
I
with
hear
Yeah.
motherfuckers
Daz.
saying they made Hove.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
cool. Make
Make
another
another
Hove.
hove. Yeah.
Yeah.
UMG is basically telling Drake, we can make another you, and not only can we make another you, we can take an artist who is literally the opposite of you, who is seen as the complete opposite of you, and make him you.
So then but with this is all I'm trying to highlight in, you know, and what you're saying is then there will be an argument that based on your assessment and the example you're using, people will say, okay, well, now you're turning in all the creativity and the mastermind stuff that you're talking about in terms of Kendrick. It's really that's not really it. It's the support and the push that he's getting from the machine
No,
versus what he's actually, doing.
right. So what I'm saying is Kendrick has had a following. Kendrick has had a fan base, but we all understand Kendrick is considered the conscious rapper. He's not really known for making club hits where it's like, hey, but his songs are really, like, his big songs are big, but they're not club hits, right? Which speaks to his, which speaks to him as an artist, because he can he can make songs that don't track in the club but still have success, right? You know what I'm saying? We know that he's got the Grammys. What, 22, like 22 overall Grammys. He's got a Pulitzer. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like he's that guy, but it's not his lane, and it's never been his lane. He was never the commercial hit type of guy. So for him to take Drake out with a commercial hit like They Not Like Us, it's,
It's beating
again,
him at his own game.
is beating him at his own game. But what I think is, in order for a distribution company like UMG to even have an argument that they're giving you the push, it has to start organically. So you have to create the
Yeah.
push first,
Right.
right? Hey man,
So you're
this
saying
one right
here's the
here,
boost. Here's the boost. Like
exactly. This
he
one's got
got
legs.
okay.
Yeah, we'll send it to the
I
moon for you.
This is what I would tell you though, Bong. I believe that when Drake drops his next album, which is going to be a hip hop album, I believe his sales are going to go back up. That I do believe.
And that's coming in the summer.
Yeah,
That's
his
that's
his
coming in the
numbers
summer.
will his numbers will go back up. This is a combination of the beef and him putting out something that wasn't hip hop. This it so I mean, I know you're like, nah, I don't want to compare it to the honestly never mind, but that wasn't hip hop either.
So he's
So
not
so that's
he's
why
Go ahead. Go ahead.
so that's what I mean. So those numbers were lower as well. His hip hop numbers are high. It's not the he when he puts out the hip hop, that's when he attracts everybody. He's going to get his hip hop people. He's going to get the people that like him singing. He's going to get some of everything. But when he's putting out this other stuff, well, you lose the hip hop people. You're not appealing to your hip hop
But
base.
Hey,
that would be a solo project, right? This is a
I don't
collaboration.
I don't know. I don't care if it's a solo or a collaboration.
Why
I mean,
why
look at
why
his
wouldn't why wouldn't you? The point is, one of the points
well,
that was made earlier is that it's not just a Drake project, it's Drake and Party Next Door. And
no, that
I think Bong was saying he's hiding behind that in a sense to where it's like it's not just a Drake album. So if it doesn't hit like it's supposed to, it's not just Drake. This isn't a
yeah.
Drake, an authentic Drake project like you're trying to speak to, KP.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
But
well, I was saying in reference to he did a collabo album with 21 Savage. That was more hip hop than it was R&B. They did fine on that album. That album sold. So I'm just saying from the standpoint of when he's not doing hip hop, he's not selling as much. But I do
So
understand what you're saying in terms of the
so
Drake, you know,
And
this
and,
was
the
a
and can
collabo
and can
album
I
with
ask can
Cardi
I
B.
ask another thing too in terms of the release, right? In terms of the way
Mhm.
it was released, were there any like tracks running on the radio prior to? Was
No.
there anything from this? Right. So there's no prep to get it popping, right?
Hmm.
Like I mean that there's no rollout, so to speak. It's just like bam, here you go. Like sometimes that
hey,
works.
that's how GNX rolled out.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I was saying sometimes that works,
And the funny thing is,
sometimes it
they
don't.
said Kendrick specifically left "They Not Like Us" off of the GNX album because he didn't want people to try and say attach "They Not Like Us" to GNX and say, you only have success because people
That
are running to
that's
that album
right, right, right.
for "They Not Like Us." So it's not on GNX. GNX had no rollout. It had like it dropped middle of the week, so it was a short. So his 318,000 sales. It was a short week, so he didn't even get a full week worth of numbers for that 318 that he did. You get what I'm saying?
But his rollout was already he won the battle. He's got
Yeah.
they not like us. All of this momentum
And
is going. So he could have put out, some nursery rhymes
and
and people were gonna listen to it. But on the back end, that might say this shit sucked, but they was gonna listen to it because of
but
the
here's a
momentum he had.
hey, if you could highlight engineer's second to last comment, he said, "I'm not a fan of anyone, but Drake hasn't put out anything decent in a while. Nothing like In My Feelings." So I to that point, to engineer's point, if what I'm saying about UMG is correct, you the ball's already rolling. Now anything Drake touches for a while is like, hey, if I'm on a feature, that person's single's going number one, just off the Drake feature. It didn't matter whether what the quality of the music was. So whether it was good music or not, people are saying that a lot of his last couple of albums weren't good, but they still sold. He was still number one because at this point he's the machine. Him,
Right.
Taylor Swift, like they're the ones that it doesn't matter what you put out. They've already built in such a huge fan base
Mm-hmm.
that there's going to be people that are going to like it regardless how garbage or not it is. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
whether it's a trash album or not, honestly, never mind. If that's any other artist, that shit doesn't sell 200,000 in the first week.
Hmm.
That was a house album. Like like his fans don't listen to house. But once you saw that sell 200,000 first week, probably did some decent numbers, then you started to understand Drake fans aren't hip hop fans. They're Drake fans. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
but again,
Well,
man, listen. I want to see how far it goes because right now Kendrick's basically got, he's got the ball on the string.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
he's doing this thing, and Drake is definitely in retreat mode.
And you know what? This is the other thing that I'm interested in seeing because KP just made a point, you know, that Drake will get back to the hip hop shit, right? He'll get back to the hip
Hmm.
hop side of the game. I said that's coming in the summer, right? Now, Kendrick is riding a wave. The next move would be an important move, right? And it's to me, it's like he's already in that. You know how when somebody get a hit, like if oh, they not like us, I'm about to make something like that again. Like or you'll
Yeah.
see other artists try to mimic the sound or try to do the same thing, right? Um Kendrick's already moving away from that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm wondering like what's the next like do we get some I don't know, tap into the old type of releases from Kendrick? Like, do you see something like that coming out back to more like the conscious rap side of the game? Like, what do y'all think the next move is? And when do y'all think that's coming? I mean, I don't know if he's dropping in the summertime like I'm saying Drake would be, but what y'all think?
Well, he's got a tour. He's got
Yeah,
a not just a
yeah,
tour coming, but a stadium tour.
correct.
And again, I don't know the you know the logistics, but from what I've been told, like it's much harder to do a stadium tour than it is to do like an arena tour, or or do like some of the smaller clubs. So for him to be doing a stadium tour is a big deal already. So the rollout has
Yeah.
already been great. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna roll straight into the summer with this. So
Uh-huh.
as long as he's on tour, I don't think Drake can't drop until the tour is over.
Right.
So he's
Right.
probably got to park it
Well,
until
well, he
fall
can, he can, but
fall or winter 25.
ooh, um, ah, man, KP, you think he'll wait till then? And welcome John Kill. He says I need Drake to twerk up on Kendrick. So,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
what is going on
whoa.
here?
Way to introduce yourself to the
Right,
chat. Whoa.
right.
um, what do I think? I think he could record while he's on tour. Um,
We got you, John Kill. Just I got
Hey
hey, I
man,
showed this first, but I gotta let it, he's just
yeah.
trolling. It's all good.
and not to cut anybody off, but please, while we got y'all in here, please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it. For tapping in with us. Please like, share, and subscribe. Kev, go with it.
Um, so yeah, man. I think that he could record some songs while he's on tour. It might be a summer. I say summer fall, between summer and fall. I could see him putting out a rap album.
Okay. I mean, that's a real strong arm, Bong. If that tour would be a real strong arm if it hold him out until fall. Like
Oh yeah,
that's you know.
yeah. And then you got a couple of Toronto dates. Um, so Kendrick, he's an asshole, bro. Like so, he got two Toronto dates, and apparently there was some.
The Junes.
Yeah, yeah. So apparently there was a situation where Drake was trying to buy out all the seats, and Kendrick got wind of it. And I think that the way the Toronto tour is set up is that it's no, um, like you can't buy seats or in like a certain area. So it's just like first come first serve when you or the day of or something. He did something to combat that so that all that we're gonna buy out all the tickets and there's just gonna be a bunch of empty seats. Like no, it's
Hmm.
that's not gonna happen. Like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But
no doubt.
but anyways, man, that was the
Engineer, we definitely do, engineer.
Absolutely. Like
yes
what?
shout,
indeed,
Did
shout out to engineer.
yes
did
indeed, yes
didn't
indeed,
50 do
Hey,
that to Ja Rule?
yes sir. That
yeah.
was the origin.
Yeah.
Hey, Bong, you said something earlier about Kendrick's music being played on some of the NBA games or during some of the NBA breaks and stuff like that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah, man. The
okay.
last Laker game, Lakers versus Denver. Um, and man, they was playing Kendrick throughout. And sometimes I feel like it's a LA thing, but NBA definitely understands. So,
Okay. Um so
ooh,
all
I
right,
was
Jay. All right, Jay Smith. Jay Smith
ooh,
in the building. Welcome, 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 Jay Smith. Drake
mm,
and Kendrick, the Pac and Big of today as far as impact.
ah,
Um
I'll say Nas and Jay, as opposed to.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, then
it was.
I
You
mean,
know what?
how
No,
far?
you know what?
Because we
Hold on.
talking a
Yeah, yeah,
distance
yeah, yeah,
though. Because how far
yeah.
back
No,
was the
for sure,
Nas and
sure.
yeah?
That was
Uh,
an early. No, no, no.
The
You know
Nas
what,
and
Jay
Jay was
Smith?
like 2002.
yeah, that.
2000, yeah, 2002.
Oh no, it was a
Oh,
little. Is it two? Was it 02?
2001,
it
2002.
was
Yeah,
early
because it was
2000s.
Okay.
yeah, because it
But
was when Jay-Z made Takeover.
but you know what
Yeah.
though?
That's
I
that's
and then
and
it
I,
went
that's a
from there.
I kind of agree with him because remember it was almost like a East Coast West Coast thing, even though it's Canada and California. It's
hmm
similar and it's intense. You know what I'm saying? And I think the social media and with just the internet has hyped it up and made it way bigger. So I can see it outside of the violence and to this point I haven't heard of anything being violent on either side. But as far as like the music, it was
well,
aggressive.
and I will say like Drake's um not like us is got to go down as the greatest diss song of all time.
For sure.
I
For
mean,
sure.
oh
For
KP,
sure.
welcome to the party, man. You're clear now.
Oh, crystal clear. Damn.
I don't know
I'm
what
off,
you
I'm
had
off,
going
I'm
on.
off punishment.
Yeah, I don't know what you had going on, but welcome to the party, man.
No, nothing, dog. I didn't have nothing going on. I,
But
I didn't press no buttons. I started looking to the sky.
but
Guess I should have did that earlier.
well thank God. Um yeah, nah, but I would say that's a good point, Jay Smith. I mean, impact wise for sure. And then that, but that song, I don't think any diss song is touching that. You know what I'm saying? Um, okay, we got
Is that Vina?
Vina. I don't want to butcher the name. And welcome Vina. Hopefully
Welcome.
that's uh that's how we're pronouncing it correctly. That we're pronouncing it correctly. So hey guys, I'm new to your channel, but Drake made NLU as big
Not like
as
us.
not like us. NLU as big as it got, and it was dying down until he started all the lawsuits, in my opinion. Um, so Drake made it as big as it got. You think?
No,
Uh,
by with the with
So
the
Sorry.
with the lawsuits, yeah, absolutely. It brought it back to life. That's for sure.
I'm sorry, engineer cracking jokes on me.
hey, and your Wi-Fi is back down again, KP. I don't know
Oh
what's going
man,
on, but
it's
let's
engineer. Engineer's
let's
messing me up. All right.
let's address Vinya's question or Vinya's comment though. Um, Vinya, I don't know when you jumped on, but earlier Bong made a comparison um with the Trading Places movie. Um, it's an old joint, but basically he was saying that UMG is who gave Not Like Us the push that it needed to be what it is. So I don't know if Drake
And
is necessarily who made it that
hold
way.
on,
He played a role because of his
hold on,
place in the
DP,
game.
because Vina, what the lawsuit is, Drake is suing UMG. So the push coming from UMG may have had something to do with the lawsuit. Oh, you trying to
But
sue us?
but it was already he sued because of what? Because of how big it had gotten. So
Right. And
you gave it
and what
another push, but it was already, doing what it was doing. But
and I
after
yeah,
that, I agree that the lawsuit gave it another boost.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But to say that it made it as big as it, well, I get what she's saying. Let's see.
Mhm.
Let's get you in here again. Yes, people actually watch the Super Bowl just to see if K Dot would play it. Yep, I was here and agree totally. I mean, the enticement of the song only. Okay, so all right, I I, I dig what you're saying, and I don't disagree with the lawsuit actually giving it yet another push. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So that's actually a good
yeah,
point. Appreciate you tapping in. Um,
absolutely. And
Yeah, I'm gonna
highlight
say one
engineer, please.
oh, this is engineer had KP dying with this because hey
Yeah,
y'all, please forgive KP and his struggles. He his video is not clear. It's coming through clear at some points and then it's dying out on this. So it's on that hamster
That
wheel,
hamster
as
wheel.
engineers put it. So you know,
Absolutely, absolutely.
but
Y'all,
Yeah.
please,
yeah,
please hit the like button. The like button, like,
yeah,
share, subscribe. Appreciate it,
yeah.
appreciate it, appreciate it.
Um,
Um, Man, you was about to pivot, and I think we got a little bit more traction. But
no, I appreciate those who jumped in. We were getting ready to kind of switch about. We were talking about Kendrick's music with the NBA, being played in the on the NBA games and all of that. So, um, getting into a little bit of sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Um, yes, yes, Vinya, definitely. Um, Getting into a little sports talk. Um, Ooh, you were talking about the game, the Dallas and Lakers game, right? In that Kendrick's
Denver,
music was being, I mean, sorry, the Denver
Hmm.
game, and how Kendrick's music was being played on there. Um,
absolutely.
so about your Lakers, since we switched and talking about the NBA, about your Lakers, and your new addition to the team, and rocking out to all your K dot Kung Fu Kenny Kendrick Lamar music being played in
Yes,
the
indeed.
building.
Yes,
How
indeed.
how are y'all feeling about the trajectory of your squad since the Luca trade?
Kev, I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Hey man, well, I mean, listen, man, you as good as your last game, man.
This is true. This is true. This is true. Hold us to it.
You as
Yes,
good as
sir.
your last game, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
So I
man,
mean,
you're only as good as your
listen, man,
last showing, huh? How convenient.
Absolutely.
your last game. So I mean, listen, and what did Luca do in that last game? I believe he had 32 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists.
Okay.
Things are looking up. I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey man, we're gonna win a championship this year. I don't feel like that. No, I don't. I've never said that. I'm more so like a long-term guy, and I'm sticking to that. Can we get into the playoffs? Yes. Um, can we be competitive in the playoffs? Absolutely. But I don't see us as a championship team.
Play.
So
Do you think it'll be? You think they'll get in a playoff seed and not have to deal with the play in?
I do. I think that, yeah, I don't think they're going to be in the play-in this year. I think they're going to actually be in the
Oh,
playoffs.
Okay.
yeah, hell yeah. Now
Yeah.
listen, um, I was the first two games Luca played, defense was suspect. This game, defense was still pretty suspect, but this is the style of basketball that we're gonna have to play to put teams away. You're gonna have to get the 30 from Luca, 30 from LeBron, Austin Reeves, who's also a defensive liability. He's gonna have to give you 25. I mean, if you're getting, I think between Rui Hashimura, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, and Luka Doncic, I think they scored over 100 points.
And how
Um,
often do you think that's going to happen? How
but what I'm
frequently do you
saying
think
is,
it happen?
it doesn't have to be them every night, and it doesn't have to be 100 points every night. Sometimes it could be Finney, what's his name, Dorian Finney-Smith. Sometimes it could be
Yeah.
Gabe Vincent. Sometimes you get a little something
Ubang,
from
Ubang, Ubang,
But it needs to be
Ubang.
who consistently.
Ubang.
yes.
We've seen Gabe Vincent since last year, man.
No,
Gabe
he's looked better
Vincent.
this year. Can we agree on that? He's looked better this year.
Well, he was injured
Okay, man.
also last year too. I'm just trying to give him
Yeah,
the
man.
So,
Because yeah, yeah,
benefit
'cause he
of the
left
but
doubt.
that
what?
jump shot. That jump shot's been in Miami, oh, man,
No,
and
yeah,
he's
jump
been
shot is
in
definitely
LA.
still in Miami. But what I'm saying is, again, we're not asking him to consistently give us 15 or 20. What we're saying is there will be games where, hey, Gabe, we need 15 from you this game, right? But for the most part, it's going to be a lot of the good games are going to look just like that Denver game last night. Was that last? Yeah, last night. It's going to be a lot of Luca, a lot of LeBron. I like the way that they had Luca bringing us home in the fourth, right? They kind of put the game away with LeBron on the bench in the fourth, right? And that's where, okay, LeBron, hey, carry us early. When age sets in, Luka carry us late. You know what I'm saying? But again, before
It's
yesterday's
not
game against
enough. If we
Denver,
staying with Kendrick, it's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
enough, nigga.
Uh,
Stop it.
No, listen.
I'm gonna
Hear
let
me
you
out.
say your piece,
Hear me
but
hear me out. Okay, yeah. Let me say it because I was right before you cut me off. I was about to say
let it
before yesterday's
cook, Wayne.
game.
Come on.
Before yesterday's game, I was saying the Lakers really miss Anthony Davis more than whatever Luca brings to the table. They were a better team with Anthony Davis because he cleaned up so much of the shortcomings on defense on the back end.
shit, right now
But
Dallas really miss Anthony Davis.
right, yeah, yeah.
Shit.
But
Yeah.
but regardless of that, if the Lakers are going to win, let's all the hypotheticals aside, the game they played against Denver, they're gonna have to look like that. They're going to have to outscore teams. It's gonna have to be a up and down
Yeah. So
80s style basketball in order for them to win. Is there a chance for
We
them to
done
win?
with the 80s. Sorry,
hey,
had to
but
put it out
can
there.
they do
My bad.
that?
My bad. My bad.
But
We
Hey,
garbage. We
can they do that, man? Can they do that
I,
consistently?
that's yet to be seen, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know, but I believe that in order for the Lakers to win, they're gonna have to win that way. And can it be done consistently? I don't know, but we will find out soon enough. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is they're going to have to play these games. They were a problem for Denver in Denver. Let's not forget it wasn't like it was in LA. This was in Denver where the Lakers really struggled because of the altitude.
As
They were a problem.
currently constructed.
As currently
Do
constructed,
the
they
Lakers
have
as currently constructed, do the Lakers beat the Denver Nuggets in a 7-game
absolutely.
series?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. But Denver's not their problem. OKC is their problem. Like
I'm only asking that
no,
because before
that was a
y'all was
kryptonite.
saying
Absolutely.
Denver was the
yeah,
hurdle. Denver was
I've
the
been
kryptonite.
saying
So that's why I'm asking that.
I've
So
said
hear
it
me,
on a couple episodes.
but hear me
That
out.
is
Hear
the
me out.
reason.
And that's why the point I made a few minutes ago was what I really wanted to highlight. The reason the Lakers kept getting beat by Denver is because in the fourth quarters we were running out of gas. This fourth quarter that I saw yesterday, LeBron was on the bench and you had Luca, a young 25-year-old Luca that was leading the charge. We're not asking LeBron to come and give us another 15 in the fourth quarter. LeBron, you can come along as a second fiddle in the fourth. If you want to take the lead early, take the lead early. When it's the
You know,
fourth quarter, let's give Luca the ball, him a younger
and
guy who can give us 30, take us home.
to add to that point, because I'm the lone ranger on here that's not a Laker fan, but I will say Luca, I don't even think he's in tip top condition.
Basketball shape.
Yeah,
Basketball.
he's playing himself into basketball
Yeah.
shape right now. Like I saw some dude, like he hit a jumper, and you see, the fans will just be saying anything to you, but it's a dude back with his phone, like Luca's complaining about not getting a call, and he's like, "Shut up, fat boy," and he's recording them and shit. But it's like he's not in the shape that he will be in come playoff time. I think he'll be in better shape, barring any injuries. He'll be in better shape, and he'll be able to assume more of that Luca role, give y'all some of that Luca magic y'all been waiting for. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give you that. He should be the one that's closing the show. And I think that was one of the questions as to whether, okay, who's gonna take the back seat, right? Um,
Hmm.
so I think LeBron early, Luca late, sometimes LeBron late too, because it Luca
Because
coming over helps LeBron a lot in that aspect.
exactly. And
But Anthony
when you say
Davis did
sometimes
too, though.
no. When you say sometimes LeBron late, what Luca does is Luca can sustain, give LeBron those rest periods where he can sustain the offense and be the driving force. AD was still relying on somebody to feed him in the paint, or everything he's trying to do is, if he's trying to get the ball up top, we don't want that AD. We want AD playing down low. So in that scenario, AD is relying on somebody to get the ball to him. Luca can create his own offense out there. Not saying AD couldn't, but not to the level that Luca can. And that all that stuff does is it buys LeBron minutes, it buys LeBron rest time. Whereas in the playoffs, it was like we would look at charts where the plus minus would be as soon as LeBron sits down, Lakers are minus 30. It's like, bro,
Okay.
hold on, man. Bro can't
Yeah.
even sit down for 2 minutes. I'm not saying that this is a championship team, but it is not out of the realm of possibilities to see the Lakers make the finals with this team. This is an offensive league. I'm I am not again, hear me out, hear me clear.
I'm listening.
Did we okay, who was in the finals
More
last
I'm
year?
listening more clearly than KP's camera, that's
Dallas,
for sure.
Dallas, Dallas
Dallas,
was
Dallas, and Boston.
Dallas was in the finals last year. Would anybody say that coming into the season they had Dallas pegged as the final as a finals as someone that was as a team that was going to go to the finals?
Um no, I wouldn't. Hey, engineer
Yeah,
shooting tonight, man.
Say the horses don't stop, they keep going.
Engineer is shooting tonight.
yeah.
Hey, man,
Okay, okay, okay.
KP's
But
Wi-Fi.
acting a fool.
Yeah.
Hey
Hear
man,
that hamster?
it's one or the
Hamster
other.
working overtime. Give
Either,
him some water, man. Give him some water.
look, hey man, listen. Y'all gonna hear me and I'm not gonna cut out, or y'all not gonna be able to see me. For some odd reason, I can't get both right now,
Fuck it, we'll
Okay.
do it live. We'll do it
Yeah.
live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Big old
KP's
Bill O'Reilly. Hey,
KP's
man.
estranged Wi-Fi in the building.
so, but yeah, so again, nobody had Dallas going to the finals last year.
Yeah, no, I
No,
I I
no, we
agree.
didn't. No, we didn't.
So to think, is it a stretch to say the Lakers could make it to the finals with this team? It's all about the. I think that the Lakers had
Yes.
teams. I think it's.
Let
I
me
think
ask
the
you.
Lakers
Wait,
had
wait, wait.
teams.
Was last year the first year though? Year was the year that Dallas also made the trade and brought in Gabbard, right?
Gafford.
They
Gafford.
brought in Gafford. I'm saying
Yeah.
Gabbard. Gafford. They brought in Daniel Gafford. They bought in PJ Washington.
Mhm.
So honestly, once they made that, that's actually what put them on when they
Yeah.
made that trade last year. Because they
Yeah.
had the guy from Boston. I can't think of his name. He was with Dallas, and then they shipped him out.
Tice.
And no, no,
Or
no,
you're
not
talking about
just
Daniel
Tice. No, I'm
No, I
talking
don't
about
think
the
he
thicker
was
body
there.
dude. I'm talking about
The
the
one,
thicker body dude from
the,
Tennessee,
the light skinned dude.
Oh,
Wood, Williams.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Williams.
Nah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nah.
Williams.
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 Yeah.
That
And
Dallas was like,
they
man,
traded him, got him out of there. But yeah,
Yeah,
that was
got him out of there.
that was the pivot they needed to get busy. And
Absolutely,
they did.
absolutely.
Listen, I
Yeah,
mean, I still think it's a to be determined deal for both. Obviously, really for Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Um, but for the Lakers too, I know they're playing well. And they were kind of on the streak before Luca got in the mix, but I think Luca will do what you're saying, Bong, and
pri-
help
prior to
LeBron.
prior to last night, they was 0-2 with Luca.
Yeah, I'm saying before Luca came, they were already on the streak.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
Lakers.
Yeah, they
So
look
and I'm
better.
saying
They look better without him.
yeah, but I'm
Absolutely.
saying now I think that he's gonna do all the things that you're saying. I'm trying to give you credit, brother, and say I
Yeah,
think that Luca's gonna do the things that you're saying. So it should bode
translate.
well for them.
Yeah,
And yeah, it should be even though I'm saying it's to be determined, I think at the end of the day it'll be a good look for them, even for now, KP, because I know you think this is more of
long
a
term.
future long term situation. I think it'll
Yeah,
be better long term for them because I'm not saying that they gonna go to the damn finals. I think that is a stretch. I don't think that they'll go. I'm not so sure that they beat Denver in a 7 game series, and I definitely don't think that they can mess with OKC. Um, in the West, I'm not sure who can really mess with OKC as it stands. They look to be the favorite. Um,
yeah.
I thought that Dallas was actually getting the better end of the deal for the now when we were talking about right now, but
Hmm.
Anthony Davis ain't even playing. So I don't know what's gonna go on with Dallas. I don't know how they're gonna be, and whenever he comes back, how he's gonna work into the fold. Like, they got to get it together, and they ain't in the best position. They might be in the play in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the guy out is Grant Williams. I just realized his name, Grant
You said
Williams
you
from
said the guy
Dallas.
you were talking about. You went out.
Yeah, Grant.
The player.
The guy
Okay.
that I was thinking about was Grant Williams that
Okay.
Dallas traded and
Okay.
got PJ Washington and then the Daniel Gafford situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, man, but I did see that Dirk Nowitzki came out and said that why he was at the game for Luca, that it was, Luca was kind of blindsided by the deal and wasn't really feeling good about the situation when he initially went to the Lakers. Um, so he put on a happy face when he was
Because
talking about that shit, but
it was the right thing to do because Dallas had basically ever since Luca got traded, there had been uproar within the fans, and exactly what engineer just said. The Maverick fans are pissed that Luca got traded, and what all bad front offices do is they try and run a smear campaign, and Dallas has been saying, there's been reports that have come out, and these are reports that they want out. Dallas wants these reports out that Luca was never going to get a supermax. What do you mean he was never going to get a supermax? They said Luca was never in shape. That they had plans for him to play his way into shape. Like they were really putting smut on his name, right? And a lot of times that is motivation for players, and I think that we may see the best that Luca has to offer because he's playing with that chip on his shoulder because of all the smut that was put on his name with his last organization. So, like I said, basketball IQ is high. Can he score and fill up the box sheet? Absolutely, he can. Him and LeBron, they look good together at times.
hmm
They both have really high basketball IQ. The biggest thing as far as the Lakers being able to sustain this and probably go deep into the playoffs and maybe make a finals run, it comes down to LeBron James' health. And can LeBron stay healthy late? Can he sustain the output that he has right now late? If
well,
he can, and Luca can, shit, man. Listen, I'm not putting nothing past him, man. I'm not.
yeah, I still am. How long do you think how long do you think that the smut being put on his name by Denver, I mean by Dallas, how long do you
Dallas.
think that smut will be his UMG, so to speak, the shit that gives him the extra boost? How long will that last for Luca?
I, I mean, who
The
knows?
Will it
season.
That
just be this season and then next season is
Yeah,
just
yeah. The season.
no, because Dallas fans won't let it go. So the fact that Dallas fans won't let it go, it's going to continue to exist on all fronts, right? Dallas fans won't let it go. So every time Dallas fans remind the organization that y'all ain't shit for letting go of Luka Doncic, the organization will have to come up with another reason why they let him go.
but no, I'm saying how long will that be his motivation? Because you said
Oh,
that
but
you saying
as
that's gonna motivate him and make him
right,
be the
as
best
long as it
Luca that we've
as
seen.
long as as long as it continues to be a thing, right? So as long as it's
An
in the
ongoing
news
topic.
cycles, as long as it's yeah, exactly. As long as it's an ongoing topic, even if it's between the Dallas fans and the Dallas organization, Luca will
Mhm.
still use it as motivation because he'll have to hear about it on a regular basis. When he goes into interviews, when he talks to ESPN, Fox Sports, and all these different broadcasting networks, they're going to ask him about, hey man, how does it feel? Feeling like Dallas didn't have faith in you or they didn't believe in you. And that's going to happen this year, next year. Hey, how do you feel now the Lakers have embraced you? And how do you feel about not being able to sign the supermax because you got traded? Like it
Hmm.
will Dallas will always be attached to him and he will always have that chip on his shoulder because of it.
Mm.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna. I I think I think it'll be this season, like KP said. Um, and it'll be one of those things where he just cooks Dallas when he goes into to play them
Yeah,
there, or when they come
like
into
Nick,
LA.
like Nick Van Exel did the Lakers.
Yeah,
Every
he just
time.
just just digging their grave and putting them in it over and over again. Um, so staying with basketball, man. Um, Kevin Durant, the Suns suck, but in the midst of it all, Kevin Durant is still hooping, and he just hit 30,000 points, man. So shout out to him. Um, that ain't something that happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, as we always say, he will show up and show out regardless of whether you like him or his personality or whatever. Dude's a hooper. What do y'all think about him hitting 30,000 points?
Man, that's
Man,
amazing, man. Given he had a career-ending injury, could have been a career-ending injury. Um, with a ruptured Achilles, you're talking, and is number 8 all time in scoring now. Number
Mm-hmm.
8. And if he plays another season, let's just say season, and he has the season that he has now, he he'll pass Michael Jordan
Mm-hmm.
to be fourth. So I think by the time it's all said and done, I think he might end up fourth.
Okay.
I think he'll
Before
pass
this, before,
before he's done, before he
okay.
retires, he'll be in the top. He'll be in the top 4.
And since you're throwing the numbers out there, I think it's only 8 players who have 30,000 points or more.
Yes, that
So
is correct.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But Bong, you were about to say something about it too.
um, man, shout out to Kevin Durant. That's a great accomplishment. Um, you know, all the stuff that KP stated, ditto. I agree 100%. Um, I will continue to say it's not an asterisk by his name, but um, Golden State,
Hey,
Golden State,
I knew it.
Golden State made Kevin Durant who he is. Okay, I was hear me out. I was watching ESPN the other day, and they put up a stat that said there's only 4 players in NBA history: LeBron, Kobe, KD, and Michael Jordan that have scored 30,000 points,
Hmm.
won Finals MVP, won MVP, and won Olympic gold medal. Right? It was something crazy like that. And I'm sitting here thinking like, wow, if KD never goes to Golden State, I don't think he wins a championship. And if KD never goes to Golden State, he is a high profile Carmelo Anthony. No disrespect to him or Carmelo, but Carmelo Anthony was a legitimate bucket getter, could score from anywhere
Yeah.
on the floor. Um, Definitely, um, like it just he was an elite scorer. The difference between KD and Carmelo, and again, KD's stats are inflated, right? He's averaged over his career 5 more points than Carmelo, a couple more rebounds than Carmelo, and a couple more assists than Carmelo, right? I think 27 for KD, 22 for Carmelo over a career. But you're talking about the eras that he played in are different, and I would say that playing alongside Steph Curry and Klay Thompson made scoring even easier for Kevin Durant in that
What
style
do
of
you
offense.
mean about the eras though? Because
Well,
he came in when
I,
Seattle was still the Supersonics, so he's played through like
well,
multiple
I'll
different.
say
Go ahead.
I'll say
I don't know
That
when he's saying something and when he's not.
Hey, but
Hey, I see engineer too though. Look, hey engineer, this was supposed to be a giving Kevin Durant his flowers moment.
yeah.
Like, hey man, I'm like, hey, what y'all think about Kevin Durant hitting 30,000?
hey,
Hey, that's why I reluctantly was like, Bong, you had something to say about it too. I knew he was
So,
about to start going in on him. He
hey,
said
Bong,
KD kicked Bong's
is
dog or something, man. Like he must have booted the
absolutely,
shit out of that motherfucker. Like,
yeah.
damn.
That
oh
Oh man.
man,
with the
Hey,
you said that
shout out to Pancake too, man. Just jumped in the
absolutely. What
building,
up,
man.
Pancake?
Best show on the land. What up, Pancake? Appreciate
I
you,
want to
man.
say something to you, Bong. Because you were saying that playing with Golden State made scoring easier, but it also took away from him as well. It does make, but you can't just run it up because you've
um,
got two other prolific scorers.
Did you say it
well,
makes scoring easier?
It makes scoring easier, but you also can't just run it up because you also have two other prolific scorers.
well,
You got to the guys touches. It
I'll,
wasn't
I'll,
like playing in OKC.
I'll say this. Steph Curry was a willing, he was willing to defer to Kevin Durant. That I don't question that. I also believe that Clay Thompson is a catch and shoot guy. So if you got a Steph, you have a KD, Clay, your numbers are going to be deflated because they can do more with the basketball than you can,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you have Steph Curry who will defer because Steph Curry will still get his numbers, um, it makes scoring. I think Kevin Durant said it himself that scoring was easier when he was in Golden State. I mean, you
No,
can't.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
saying it's easier, but I'm
right.
saying that he's getting less. He's not gonna run it up as much because of his teammates and because of the scoring that he has besides himself. So even his 3 years at Golden State, right?
Yeah.
In his first year, he averaged 25. In his second year, he averaged 26.4, and in his third year, he averaged 26. Um, He's only averaged, let me see, he averaged 25.4 1 year in at OKC. It was the second to last year at OKC, and he only played 27 games. And that's when he averaged 25 points. Then you'd have to go back to his first and second year when he averaged 25 points and 20 points. So he's never averaged 25 points any other time besides that. And then after he left Golden State, he averaged 26 points with this. Well, no, you can't
So
even say that. It was 26 points in 8 games with the Suns. But in the total games in the season, he averaged 29 points.
okay, so I was gonna ask you, are you saying because he had other weapons that were capable, he wasn't going for
Exactly.
30 and
Yes.
35
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
of this
Yeah.
other stuff every night?
Yes. In a
So
situation, yeah, he when he could have scored more in Golden State, he wasn't because you still had to feed the other guys.
Yeah.
And
No,
even Durant was saying that he was working on his defense more so in Golden State. He was able to work on other parts of his game
I,
besides the scoring.
I'm just glad that he can be celebrated. But and again, it's not an asterisk.
okay.
But what I'm saying is his NBA career would definitely look different if he didn't make that pit stop in Golden State. And I think that even though they provided him with an opportunity to win 3 championships, obviously we know how the last one ended with the injury.
Two,
Um,
two ball,
No, no,
two.
no. He had an opportunity to win three,
Oh,
but
okay,
they
okay,
won
okay.
two,
Yeah.
right? But they provided him with an opportunity to go to 3 finals, um,
Hmm.
and they were successful in 2 out of 3 trips. Kevin Durant, too many times, treats that Golden State stint like it was just a pit stop in his career when it was um, may be the best part of his career. And again, a lot of it could have to do with the relationships and not feeling like it was he was welcome as an insider. His failed relationship with Draymond Green, who has failed relationships with plenty of NBA players. But who
So
knows what the real reason is? But again, I think my
so
my thing is,
can I ask a question though?
yeah,
Does a championship validate you as a great individual player or a great team player?
it validates you as a the level of Hall of Famer you are when it's all said and done. This is for the greats, right? We look at Jordan differently than we look at Charles Barkley. Both are in the Hall of Fame. Both are great individual players. Both were on great teams. Jordan has the hardware. Barkley does not. Larry Bird has the hardware. All the greats that we attach are their names to the different eras of success in the NBA, whether it's Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, go through the eras. There's some people that got left out. Hey, Charles Barkley, he gets laughed at all the time, right? Dominique Wilkins, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of guys that
Patrick
by
Ewing.
Patrick Ewing, a
Mm-hmm.
few guys in the NBA, Reggie Miller, you know what I'm saying? Like that you guys would be on a different tier had you just won a championship. Just one. But
Okay.
because you didn't, we don't. So again, do you think we would look at Kevin Durant? I'm just asking y'all a question. If Kevin Durant, everything, all his accomplishments, everything he's done to this point of his career, minus two championships, do you think we would look at Iverson? Thank you, another one. You know what I'm saying? But the hood will always love Iverson though, so he's different. But do you think we would look at Kevin Durant differently than we look at him now had he if he didn't have championships?
I wouldn't, but I would venture to say that I think he could have got one had he have not went to Golden State.
Yeah, I don't know how it would have looked. I get Bonk's point, but I don't know
But
how it
yeah,
would
I
have
get
looked
what you're
those
saying
years.
though.
It just
I
depends
do.
on
I
where
do.
he would have gone, where he would have gone instead of Golden State,
Yeah.
and how the makeup of that team was. But I'm just, I was just curious because I mean, that's always a point of debate when people were talking about the greats, and I think you're right in terms of if they got a chip, then it's there is some sort of elevation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
They're stamped.
But I mean, we were talking about him scoring 30,000 points. Um, not the titles necessarily. I know the turn Bong took us on was a little bit different because I mean I wanted to also throw a shout out to another player, um, which is James Harden. James Harden hit 27,000, and
Mm.
he's only 13 players have done that. Only 8 hit 30,000. Only 13 have hit
Hey,
27 or more.
hey, DP and Kev, sorry, KP. Since you guys, I don't even remember what DP said his answer was. Now, would you look at James Harden any differently than you look at him now if he had a championship?
I gave you my answer before I said it. Maybe you weren't listening to me. I said
No, no,
you're
no. I'm
right.
saying no, no. I was saying I didn't, and that's why I said I didn't hear your answer,
Yeah,
but
I
I know
said
Kev
I
said
said you're right in
okay,
terms of the championship there being an elevation. There's an elevated status when you're talking
okay.
about the greats if they win a chip. So
My
yeah,
bad,
I
my bad,
agree.
my
Yeah,
bad. I
I
didn't, I
agree
didn't,
with that.
I didn't hear that.
I
But
get what you're saying, Bong.
Yeah.
I do.
no, no, no.
I
Just
do.
answer
I
my
get what you're saying.
question, sir.
Yeah,
You
I tried to
asking?
sidestep
Yeah, right, right, right,
Oh
right.
no, yeah, no, no. Hey, look. Hey, ain't
you
no
know,
half.
I
Hey,
tried to, I
look,
tried to sidestep
ain't no half stepping, ain't no side stepping, man. When you
it.
ask me something, I'm gonna tell you.
No,
Hey,
no,
real,
no, no,
real
no.
shit
I'm
though.
I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, hold on. Real shit though. The nigga who will sidestep your ass is Bong. That
Uh,
motherfucker. You want to see some sidestepping? You ask this nigga a
oh yeah.
question that he don't want to answer.
Yeah,
He
I
gonna
two
work
step with
your
you.
ass.
I two step with you.
um.
I two step
So
with you.
yeah, James. I would view James Harden different if he would have won a championship. I still view him as an all time great, but it would be different. So
Yeah,
I
I
agree
mean,
with you.
but and that's why I was at. That was the reason for my question, right? Like, is it just a validation of you're a great team player or a great individual play? I think you can speak to the individual stuff without the championship, but at some point, you know,
Yeah.
when you start comparing greats or talking about greats, that is going to come into play because a lot of things go into that, like great players lead teams to championships and things like that. So it's a lot of stuff that you could talk about when you start bringing championships into the fold. So yes, I definitely agree with what Bong is saying. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, shout out to James Harden too, though, because 27,000. That's a that's only three shy of where Kevin Durant is. Like
That's
when
crazy.
when did Harden come in? Was it a year after Durant, or was it
Two
a year or
years,
two?
2 years,
2 years
2
after
years.
Durant.
Yeah, because it
Okay.
was Durant, then it was Westbrook, then it was Harden the following year.
And if you hear, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was about to say, and if you hear Harden speak now, he talks about how he was asked to play different roles the last couple years, and it took away from what he was asked to do as a scorer.
Even
Um,
now with the
the
Clippers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, he's saying he's more comfortable now going back to that role. I mean, obviously getting rid of PG and Kawhi Leonard playing whenever he wants to. It also helps for James Harden to be more of an aggressive scorer. But I'm just glad that he's able to get back to being the style of player
Mm-hmm.
that he wants to be. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And you talking about the Clippers real quick, man. Shout out to Norman Powell. Like he's balling. And he's a
yeah.
reason why they're really making a push without, the so-called superstars in the mix or the stars in the mix, like, you know, like Paul George, and unfortunately he hasn't been, you know, super effective for the Sixers, but Norman Powell has stepped up and done his thing with the Clippers, so shout out to him. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, 27K, 30K. You see all these players dropping all these, numbers. You see these teams. The other day, Cleveland scored 140 on the Knicks, was it? Um, so I'm
That's
just like,
ridiculous.
damn. it- I'm thinking, you know, these records that are being set, like 30,000, and how quickly players are getting to uh these numbers, because I think Kevin Durant only was it Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan were the only ones who did it faster than him or something like that. But anyway, you'll see more and more people breaking records, I think, right down the line as these careers go on, because the NBA is promoting scoring. The what One of the things I wanted to talk about though was James Harden just being 2 years behind Kevin Durant.
Hmm.
James Harden's got 27, and Durant's got 30,000. This is somewhat of a pivot. This question I'm about to ask y'all. You would put those two in the same the same class, right? Of the same era of
mhm.
players, right?
Hmm.
Um, if you look at it and break it down, should should Steph Curry and LeBron be put in the same era? Because they often lump those two
No.
together. But should they be put in the same era? Because what is Curry? Curry's like what, 30, 30, 35 or something like that?
Let me
35.
look it up.
I want to
Yeah.
say it's at least 4 years that
He's
separate
30.
them.
He's 30. He's
30,
36,
36. So okay.
and he turns 37 in March 14th. He turns 37.
And
So
LeBron documents going to watch Curry play at Davidson while he was in the league.
so should those two be considered in the same like era?
They're they unfortunately, well,
Mhm.
not unfortunately, but they're considered in the same era because of their ties to the NBA finals.
Yeah.
It
What was it?
was
5 years in a row?
Yeah. So, and they were the faces, whether we want to call KD the face of Golden State for two of those years. Steph Curry was the face of the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? So, again, history will tie him and LeBron together because Steph Curry, KD may be the sole reason why LeBron James doesn't have maybe 6, 7 chips. You know what I'm saying? Um, just from those years that the 2 years that they put together. Well, the 2 years they put together the super teams. Plus the first year. So hold on, because they beat them 3 times, right? They beat them 3 times, and then Cleveland finally won the fourth one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, no, I'm sorry.
Two.
No,
I'm
no, no,
sorry.
no, no.
They beat
Cleveland
them the
won.
second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat them the second time. Yeah.
Yeah.
They beat them the second time, and then they came back, and that's when they brought KD in, and they beat them the next 2 times after that.
So,
And it
Hey,
was four times in a row they faced off in the championship. Four, not five.
engineer, I don't hate KD. I just think that KD came
I
along
wonder
for the
also.
ride. KD came along for the ride with Golden State, and for some reason, history believes that KD helped or did more for Golden State than Golden State did for him. And I like to remind people that Golden State won a championship before KD got there. KD packed his bags and went on about his way. Golden State won a championship after KD left. KD, on the other hand, won nothing before he came to Golden State. And since then, like like a fiend chasing that high, he's been searching, he's been searching high and low for that championship that he found in Golden State, and he hasn't found it yet. Now Phoenix was trying to get him traded at the deadline. At the end of the year, they're claiming that he may end up on another team. Like now, how many teams has it been? It's Phoenix, it's Brooklyn. Where else did he go? Was there another team after that? Or
No,
okay,
no,
so
just no.
after when he leaves Phoenix at the end of this year, he'll be on his third team since Golden State, chasing that high, that euphoria, since we're using Kendrick bars, that he got when he won those 2 championships with Golden State, right? So
Okay. Okay. So let
it's
me kind of illustrate what I was trying to ask y'all a little bit more, man. So like LeBron was drafted in 2003.
Yes.
Curry was drafted in 2009. Players in LeBron's draft: Carmelo, Chris
retired,
Bosh,
retired,
Dwayne Wade, Chris
retired,
Kaman, Kirk
retired,
Heinrich,
retired,
Mm-hmm.
TJ Ford,
retired,
Mm-hmm.
Nick Collison,
retired,
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Banks.
retired,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, David West.
retired.
Mm-hmm.
He
Y-
started
y-
his own league.
I'm still Josh Howard.
uh,
Ooh,
I mean, if
Yeah.
we
Car-
go on,
Car- Carolina
Marquise
legend.
Daniels.
so
Josh Howard, Carolina legend, man. Shout out to
pl-
Winston Salem.
now there's still, you're gonna get some retireds in this too, but 2009 draft, Blake Griffin.
Semi-retired, right?
Yeah, he's retired. He's
He's
retired.
retired.
He's
Okay,
retired.
retired.
Hashim the Beat.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Oh my
but
God. And
look,
was drafted by OKC. Oh
but
my
but
gosh.
look, James Harden
Still
Still
playing.
in there.
still playing. Tyreek Evans.
Retired.
He's banned. He was on that. He was on
Yeah,
that,
it's
that
unfortunate with
beer
him.
butter.
I think
That
he could
beer
have
butter.
still been. Yeah, Ricky Rubio.
Retired. Isn't he?
Spain.
I
I
don't know if
think
he's
he.
retired, but then of course Steph Curry, DeMar DeRozan.
Still
Oh,
playing.
he's still in there.
You know, Drew Holiday.
Still playing.
Still playing.
Winning.
Hey, highlight engineer's last comment as we continue to go through these names.
Which one is last one?
The
The
last
last
one. The
one.
last one.
KB's Wi-Fi retired.
Retired.
Hey, hey, man. Hey, we need KP's Wi-Fi to make a comeback.
Man, retired.
MJ with the 4-5, and then switch back to that 23, man. And
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe, man.
Sis,
Start a
man.
Patreon. Donate to the Patreon.
We
Right,
need
right.
to get the subs up so we can get some super chats for KP's Wi-Fi.
Absolutely. Help get us to at least
Yeah,
500.
yeah, that's what help get us to 500 subs
Yeah,
in the name of KP's Wi-Fi.
absolutely.
Oh man, yeah. So I mean that's kind of like my thing is like everybody pretty much in LeBron's class is done because he's
Yeah,
an anomaly. But
yeah,
you still got like hoopers
yeah,
in Curry's draft class that are still getting it done.
yeah. Curry's not even the highest scoring player in his draft
And I
class.
mean you got to think too. Like think about when we hooped, college and high school. Like if you there was 4 years between like or a freshman and a senior. That's a big gap.
You think you're never gonna catch? They're never gonna catch me, or you're never
Like
gonna catch that person.
in basketball terms, right? That's like
Yeah.
that's a big gap.
Yes.
So I mean, I've just always wondered, like they, obviously I know why they lump them in because that's what sells. But I'm like, damn, these dudes are like six draft classes, 5 draft classes apart or whatever. That's a big ass gap.
And
Absolutely.
and at one point they was trying to lump Kobe and LeBron together.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Whatever the Dukes brothers can sell.
there you go.
But one thing was interesting that you said though. You talked about James Harden and
Hmm.
his career points, which was what 27,000
Yeah.
36, and Durant, who's at 30,109 points.
Hmm.
Um, do you know that James Harden has played 20 more games than Kevin Durant?
20 more.
Yeah, he's played 20 more games than Kevin
Damn.
Durant. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could see it because Durant
I
was
mean the
out for a
injury.
full
Yeah,
year,
the injury. Yeah,
and
but
and
yeah,
and Harden, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Harden
But
hasn't had a crazy injury like that.
I was just putting that fun fact out there that yeah, he's played 20 more games than Kevin Durant has.
And
Yeah.
again, we talk about how James Harden's role has changed even from when he was on OKC. So
Hmm.
Kevin Durant was a bona fide scorer from day one. So you know, Harden has seen you know his role increase as he's separated from KD and Russell Westbrook.
Right.
So even though he's played more games, I can see how it would take him a little bit longer um, to go get to 30
Hmm.
than it would take KD. Same thing with LeBron and Kobe. Kobe was forced to sit down his rookie year. LeBron came in and was asked to put the team on his back from day one. Only
Hmm.
person that didn't know that was Ricky Davis.
And they
So,
got him out of there.
and
They
they got
got they got him out of
in
there.
short order.
Oh
In
shit.
short order.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ricky
Oh
Davis,
man.
Yeah.
Tricky Ricky. Hey, Ricky Davis was from the era where they used to do the celebrity all star games, and he used to be on the sideline drinking, playing in the game. Like, oh man, that's old school NBA.
Hey,
So
yo,
Ricky
yo,
Ricky Davis shot on the wrong basket just to get the rebound and get the triple double.
man.
Ricky.
Hey, that's some nigga. That's some shit right there. Like
By any
And
fuck
he's
this.
means,
I'm
thirsty.
getting this triple double.
Thirsty. Yeah.
Hey, did
Thirsty.
they give it to him?
yeah.
No, they took it. No, they
Oh, they
took
I
it
t-
I
away.
oh
thought
they
they
rescinded it.
yeah, I
Away.
thought that
Yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah,
took it
yeah.
away.
They're like, man, get this shit out of here. Um, man, so before we get out of here, and this is kind of this is an unfortunate development. So,
Yeah.
and a player that I mentioned that was in LeBron's draft class, Chris Bosh,
Hmm.
um, his career basically had to end because of this, right? He had to retire because of the same thing that I don't know if it's the exact same issue, but it was blood clots
Yeah.
that made Chris Bosh retire. Now you have Victor, as Kevin would say,
Weeman Yama.
Yama. not to be confused with Victor Wimbenyama.
No,
Um,
no relation.
yeah, but he is he's dealing with a blood clot, a blood clot issue, and he's done for the remainder of the season.
Not
Um,
not to be confused with a bumba clot.
yeah, not a bumble clot, a
It's
blood clot.
a blood clot. Right,
Yeah.
right.
And it's unfortunate, man. And I'm hoping that it's not a situation like, a career ending thing. I don't, I don't know if they put any details out there about the full extent of it, but I do know he's done for the season. So, KP, um,
Hmm.
can you get us jumping on this topic because you said
I,
something about the Spurs,
I
right?
I have a theory. I I have a theory. The Spurs, I said that they were not going to make the playoffs this year. And with this injury, they definitely aren't going to make the playoffs. This is going to put them in a position to get a lottery pick. Who the lottery pick is going to be? Well, I think the Spurs end up with the number one draft pick again, and they get Cooper Flag. Absolutely, engineer. They get Cooper Flag. So the Spurs, Wembanyama will come back healthy, and they'll have Victor Wembanyama.
Mm,
They will have Stephon Castle.
mm.
They will have Cooper Flag. They will have De'Aaron Fox.
That's a tough ass. That's a
And they still have young guys. They still got Keldon Johnson. They still got these young guys on the team that are very, very serviceable.
it's a new wave OKC.
Absolutely.
Like, man,
Absolutely.
if that happens, but first and foremost,
I've been
I,
saying
I,
this
I
for a
wish
while.
I wish
I want
I wish Wimbenyama good health, and I hope again that it's something that he can overcome and continue to play. You know what I'm saying? If they end up getting Cooper Flag, that's crazy.
listen. That's been my theory for a minute, man. I've been stuck on this for a while.
An engineer says if they get Cooper Flag, screw it. I'll officially become a Spurs fan. Right now, you rock with the Rockets, right, engineer? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's a
Um,
Rockets fan.
yeah, but yeah. So, if it plays out and if it plays out that way and that happens, ooh wee, they look scary. That's a scary good lineup.
Yeah, that's what I see happening, man.
I mean, it all banks on Wimbenyama's or Wimby's health, but Cooper Flag, and again, we're assuming, they land Cooper Flag. There's a lot of teams out there tanking for Cooper Flag at the moment. So, let's see how it plays out. But um, this is a this is a very good draft class as well. So even if you don't land Cooper Flag, but you get
KP
Mm,
disagrees.
mm.
Not a good draft class.
It, it's not as good as people thought it was gonna be.
Top
It's
heavy.
not. Yeah, it's not the 2024 draft class. It's not that because that was historically bad. Like it's going to go down as the worst draft class in the modern era, the 24
uh,
draft class.
wow, that bad?
Yeah, it was that bad. Yeah, which is, I mean, that's why I was saying in the time, like I'm not arguing with Bronny coming out and being drafted because it's historically the worst draft
Hey,
class.
hey, Bong. Hey, they gonna be when people listen to this on the replay, they gonna hit him with that Tupac poetic justice line, like, "What the fuck you know? You don't even keep your fucking nails clean."
Right,
They
right,
gonna be
right.
like, "What the
Absolutely.
fuck you know? You ain't even got good
Right,
Wi-Fi, nigga."
right, right, right. Fuck is this nigga talking about?
What the fuck you know? We can't even see your face, nigga.
Oh
Hey,
man. But nah, so
and
no,
and
so
and
bomb.
and,
But
and Pac looked at his nails after she said that shit too.
Right.
Like, man, what the fuck? Hold on, the fuck?
Oh shit.
but
Man,
Bong,
that's one of my favorite
there,
movies.
there are some good players in the draft, and it is top heavy. But after that, it's like it gets kind of icky.
Right, right. Oh, look, I hear
Oh,
you, Kev. But
yeah,
what I'm saying
yeah.
is,
You talking about Reed Shepard? Reed
what,
Shepard can hoop, man.
Hey,
They oversold him.
Reed
They
Shepard,
oversold him,
I think he gonna be
but
all right though.
they oversold him. But that's a testament as to how the draft was. That because I don't think he's better than Colin Gillespie, and Colin Gillespie's been a G League player. I don't think he's better than Peyton Pritchard in
Yeah.
Boston.
Hey, Pritchard has kind of been given the freedom to get busy. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
yeah,
Just his
but I'm
his surrounding. I'm not gonna call him supporting because it's not like he's the guy, but his surrounding cast, the other players,
but,
kind of make it to where he can get loose a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Pause if that's taking it
but
any out
DP.
of context.
If you can't if you ain't got no bag or you ain't got nothing, it don't matter. You can't get loose at all if you don't have it. You got to have it first to be able to display it and get loose.
But you also need the confidence and the opportunity. He has
Yeah,
both. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of players who
yeah,
have more of a bag than he does, but they don't have the
yes,
confidence or the opportunity.
yeah.
So I'm just saying
But I'm
he's in a perfect scenario. Got the bag, got the confidence, got the opportunity, and the team. They
yeah.
listen. Who's their big? What's the big that came out of? I'm talking about Boston now. Can't even think of his name. Um, I'll get to it. I'll get his name in a minute. I'll let you go on. But I'm just saying you wouldn't think that a lot of those players could do what they do, but they're able to because Boston is just a good team. They
Yeah.
just are allowing people to flourish because they're a good team and they're taking care of business. So in Houston, they're just now doing something in Houston. They're just now playing well and kind of gelling together. But I mean,
that's
some
coaching.
play
That's
yeah,
coaching.
but some play yeah. Shout out to Email Udoka. You know what I'm saying? But some places is just it doesn't allow for that to happen. You know what I'm
The
saying?
big are you
I
talking
can
about
I can
Porzingis?
I'm talking
Or you
about
talking about
players. No, no, no,
no, no, no.
no. I
The
know who
big four.
Porzingis is. No,
Okay,
no.
Hauser,
Hauser,
Cornette.
Hauser, Hauser,
Okay, okay,
Hauser.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But I listen, I know of a player close to home who's in a situation where I know he's better than a lot of the players on his squad, and he don't get the opportunity to do it. I'm not gonna name
Lock,
no names or
Locked,
no
locked,
teams,
locked up. They won't
you
let him
know.
out like Akon, huh?
Yeah,
yeah,
Um,
but it happens.
yeah.
It happens. So, um, oh man, the, hey, look, and the fact, look, the fact that I know it's the Jazz
Right.
is
Absolutely.
crazy.
Absolutely. But
And the fact that they lost to
Oh,
the Jazz is
Jazz.
sad because they stink,
well, Lakers lost to the Jazz as well.
and that was sad
Right. That
because
was Luca's
they had just beat them,
without
the
Luca.
game
And
before.
that
Yeah,
was Luca's first game, I think. Or what? No, no, was it?
I think that was his first game, and then
Yeah.
they
It was
turned
the
around
first
and
game.
got
It
that
was the
ass
first
beat.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the
Yep.
first
Yeah,
game.
Yep. 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 So, but not to but to keep the focus back on Cooper Flag and San Antonio's quest to tank for Flag. What I'm saying is it's not a draft where it's like, hey, um it's like you have the number one guy is going to be coveted, and then there's nobody else. Like I know I have younger sons, and they talk about the two kids over at Rutgers a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Who will
And
be
I
the
was,
Ace,
second and third
Ace
pick?
Bailey and Dylan Harper.
and yeah,
Who will
yeah,
be the second and third pick in the drafts?
absolutely. So if you lose out on Cooper Flag and you have to settle for an Ace Bailey's game is so tough. God. Anyway, or if you have to settle for a Dylan Harper, son of legendary Ron Harper,
Ron
like,
Harper.
are you losing? Like, I'll take that.
Yeah. Look, if you're San Antonio and you have let's say that Ace Bailey goes second, and so you're San Antonio and you have the third pick, then you are losing.
Because you
You
already
gonna pick
have
De'Aaron
from
Fox, and you got
from
Stephon
Sacramento.
Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then, in a sense, yeah, you are losing. You're like, man, nah,
Yeah.
I don't want to go in this direction.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
mm,
That's true. I mean, yeah, but it really
I I
comes up
mean,
to how the draft falls. But I'm just saying that it may be top heavy, but shit, if you give me something in the top 4 or 5 where I can say, okay, I'll take this player and I can do something with him,
yeah,
I can live with that.
and I think
Everybody in the lottery is not going to be all 14 picks ain't going to be, thoroughbreds, but
yeah, and I think that's
Yeah,
kind of I knew where you were going with that, Bong. It's like it's some motherfuckers in there, and
yeah,
he just named two. And I mean, Kevin, we were just talking the other day um, when Maryland was hooping, and I said Derek Queen, like
I like him.
I like
I
his
like
game,
him.
dog. I like his game, and his coach said
Oh, he's
if
nice,
he
man.
was his coach said if he was a I believe he said if he was a white European,
Yes, he
he'd be the
did.
first pick of the draft.
It's true. It's true.
Uh,
Derek Queen is about 6'10", about 240, 250, 240. I give him 240. Reminds me of DeMarcus Cousins. Doesn't have that mean streak of DeMarcus, but skilled.
yeah,
Isn't crazy athletic. He's
mhm,
deceptively athletic, but he just knows how to play, man. Knows how to use his body, good
mhm.
footwork, finishes, can shoot, can pass, can rebound. Like, yeah,
And
he's a player.
somebody else you mentioned that had
What's that?
me checking out more of his game was
Mhm.
Asa Newell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
and I know the announcers were saying Newell. Is it Newell or Newell?
I'm not even gonna sit here and lie
Okay.
because I've never called them by their last name.
Anyway, he plays for Georgia,
Yeah.
and he's got a brother there too. He's a hooper.
Yes.
What is he like,
Yeah.
6'10" or something like that?
6'11".
6'11".
6'11". Yeah.
6'11", lefty, right?
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
he has game. Like
Yes.
ever since you said his name and told me about him, I started watching. I'm like, yo, this dude is for real. Like they got some
Didn't
young
take
guys who,
didn't
they got
take
some
me long to
potential.
spot him. Didn't take me long to spot him, man. At the camp, I saw him and immediately I was like, "Wait a minute, is this kid's not a 5-star yet?" Yeah, by the
Yeah,
end of the year, he'll be a 5-star. He'll be a one and done, and that was seeing him as a sophomore. And the sophomore year hadn't even started. I was
right,
like, "Yeah,
right.
he'll be a one and done."
And Joseph Garcia just hopped in and says, "Real Joseph, can you let us know um what that's in reference to? Were you talking about a particular player that you think is real or something we said? Like let me know something so we could clarify what you're speaking on." But yeah, man. I think there's some talent
Joseph
in
is
the
saying real
yeah, I think it's
and
some
not
talent in the
real.
draft. Yeah, exactly. Uh, I think it's some talent in the draft though, man. Like,
No,
you
it
know,
is. It's just it's not as strong as everybody like they were the analysts were saying like this is going to be one of those strong draft classes and I don't think it's going to be like the 2022 draft class. No, maybe it was 2021 with Kay Cunningham and Jalen Green and
who people were trying to bury already, Cunningham.
yeah,
They were
yeah,
already trying to say he wasn't shit
yeah,
and
he's nice.
he's
He's nice.
cooking. And
He's nice.
yeah, like pause, like
Yeah.
calm down. Like
Um
take a breath and let him do his thing, dog.
Evan Mobley's also in this draft class. Like they were trying to say that draft class is gonna look more like this draft class right here is gonna look more like that draft class. And I just don't think so.
I
That
mean,
was that's a heck of a draft class.
it was. I'm just saying, but we named 5 dudes just about 5 just off top, pause.
Yeah,
But if it's
we
like
did.
if let's say they pan out, like 5 dudes from a draft is kind of like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but if you really
It,
break it down, which we'll have to do at some point, you'll be able to determine like just how strong you think it is. I know you already have names and all this stuff in your mind because this is kind of like, this is right up your I don't even want to say that because it's pre-pause worthy, but this is something you do. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah. Um, but yeah, man.
Joseph. Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph kind of left that out there.
Whoa.
Maybe Joseph got out. But anyway, man, um,
Real.
this was cool. Yeah, hey, engineer, we will definitely be checking out the combine. Matter of fact, Shador Sanders, we were going to talk about this. I don't know if we may just save this for the next time as far as going into detail with it, but he's not gonna go to the combine. He's not gonna throw at the NFL combine. Um, y'all think that's a good move or not? Just off top, Bong. I think your sound is off. Um, still out. Bong sound is out. KP's Wi-Fi is fucked up. We
No, no, no,
Man,
I'm
we
back. I'm back, baby.
okay,
I'm back. I'm
okay,
back. I'm
okay,
sorry.
okay. All right,
I think
Bong. Woo, woo.
nah,
Hey, engineer, they was leaving me hanging. I'm
nah,
like,
nah, 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 nah. I was, I think I yanked out the cord, so it was kind of like in between. But I was gonna say, um, Shador's just taking a cue from his dad. You know, his dad who, um, was on record as telling teams that were asking him to come and go over the playbook and all that. Like, what pick are you? Like, nah, I won't be I won't be there by the time you guys come up to pick. So don't even worry about it. Shador understands that he's a top 10 pick. He understands that a lot of the chitter chatter around, um, especially black players in the draft, is always to discredit their ability and what they bring to the table. But even with that being said, they did it to Cam Newton. He went number one. You know
mhm.
what I'm saying? Like,
And look
say
at
what
what
you will.
engineer says.
Yeah.
If Bryce Young got away with it, Shador should be fine.
Absolutely. And Bryce is a talent. I think that one of the misconceptions that we get is that these kids go number one, number two, number three in the draft and they're terrible and they don't pan out. It's because they're going to bad organizations. I've said it on previous episodes. There's only somewhere between 6 and 12 teams that really even care to win. The other teams are just existing. They know that it's a business. We have to we have to spend X amount of dollars every year. We're going to get to that mark. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to go really try and bring in the best talent available. We're just existing and we're going to bring fans in every year regardless.
Mhm. Mhm.
These high draft picks get to these places. People that are getting drafted to the New York Jets, people that are getting drafted to the Carolina Panthers, people that are getting drafted to the Cleveland Browns. Like, those are not ideal places where people go to thrive in their careers. And not everybody has a family behind them like the Mannings
Mhm.
where they
Mhm.
can say, I'm not going here. You're going to take my
Right.
son and he's going to go
Right.
there.
Right. Right.
So you have to, you just have to be happy with whatever it is that you get. And unfortunately, some of those bad teams end up beating the love of the game out of these players. And then it's just like, all right, at least I'm a millionaire. Let me go get money,
Mhm. Mhm.
have
But
I mean,
have crazy sex with women and do drugs, But
but when you
hey man,
actually make the adjustments and put a little support behind the player, you see, like Bryce Young was having more success. You know what I'm saying? So if you kind of build around his talents, then it could be a good situation for him. And like you say, Ubang, it has a lot to do with the organization, coaching staff, scheme, and all that kind of stuff. So I agree with
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
I
engineer,
look
we
I
definitely.
look
Oh, go ahead, Kev. Sorry, my bad. Didn't mean to step
I
on.
look back at the Eli Manning situation for the draft. That shit was crazy as hell. Like, my son is going number one, and he's going to the New York Giants. And the New York Giants didn't even have the first pick. They had the fourth pick. They're like, nah, he's still getting drafted number one. So he got drafted number one by, at the time, the San Diego Chargers. And
San Diego
within what?
Superchargers.
Within an hour, he was traded to New York for Phillip Rivers, who New York had drafted at number four. If that ain't no crazy stuff, man, looking back at that now is like, how the hell did that happen?
Hmm.
That's power.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that's yeah, that's power.
Yeah, but we engineer, we're gonna have to get on our combine situation. We'll be taking a look at all of this stuff and kind of
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to put together our
little combine recap.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
there's definitely some standouts. I like to look at the draft through the lens of my favorite team, my biggest headache. But so you got wide receiver help that the Cowboys need, and I think of all the
Wide
positions that
receiver
they,
help, running back help,
but of all the positions they need help at, it would suit them to address wide receiver through the draft because going out and signing a free agent wide receiver is likely going to cost them more than getting a rookie
and
wide
let's
receiver with a
let's
top
be
12
let's be clear, Bong.
pick.
You can't draft a new owner or GM. Yeah,
Hey,
engineer. I
this is true
mean that's my squad too. The Cowboys, that's my squad too. I think I don't disagree with you, man. I would like to see him get a running back. Um, what I think they'll do though is if Genty goes before they pick, they're just gonna address the running back in
second
the
round, third.
yeah, I was gonna say even later than that, I think. And
Mm,
then I think they're gonna draft one and then also get a free agent, a vet free agent, and just the best one they think they could find out of the pack that's available, and then just roll.
Because if you get the wide receiver Tet McMillan, I think out
Uh,
of
Out of
Arizona,
Arizona, yeah, yeah,
if he's
he's
available at 12 to pair
man.
with CD, and then you can go get. Um, so the thing about the running back is that everybody's in love with Genty because he was basically the face of the running back position in college this year.
Hmm.
But there's so much depth because it's just all you need is a skill set and young legs.
There's a
You re-
lot of running
there's
backs
a
in
lot
this
of
draft.
same way it
There's
was a
a
lot of running backs
lot of
last
running
year.
backs in this
Remember
draft.
we
Yeah,
screamed that
We
last year.
did,
A
we
lot of
but
did.
running
hey
backs last
man, but Dallas goes old, man. So in a surprising move,
And that
the
and
Dallas
that's
Cowboys,
what I
year.
just
Start getting
say.
Leonard Fournette.
What I just say. I said they'll probably go later in the draft and then just take whichever vet and
Leonard
free
Fournette
agency is available.
Yep, 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 yep. No, for sure, for
hasn't
sure.
played it down in 2 years, but
Yeah,
he's
we'll take
looking
it.
good
Yeah,
out there.
Yeah, for sure,
yeah.
for sure, for sure. You know,
Oh man.
we'll see, we'll
Did we
see, we'll
mention Le'Veon Bell wants to play again? Dallas, are
see.
you ready? Nah, but
Adrian Peterson's not walking through that door.
hey,
And if he is, do you want to sign him?
man, hey, oh,
Yeah.
did you see who Deshaun Jackson is? He got Clinton Portis on his staff.
Oh,
He's picked up a couple other. Man, we got to talk about this. I know we getting out of here, but
Delaware State,
he is
Virginia Union.
he's got a lot of the kids from Poly out here in
Long
California,
Beach.
y'all, Long Beach Poly. He's got a lot of the kids from there, a good handful of them to commit. Um, I know he's got a couple other kids. He got some kids out in Delaware, some hometown kids. So
And
I'm I'm
yeah,
I want to see what he does out there, man. Like I
hey,
think they
listen,
cooking up something.
it's about the staff, and if the HBCUs,
Mm.
what I will say is I appreciate the HBCUs embracing the ex NFL guys and the ex NFL guys willing to take those jobs. Now, even if it's a stepping stone to get to a better job, like I think them coming to HBCUs is going to start putting HBCUs on the map to where they're going to have to get more visibility,
Mhm.
televise more. Deshaun getting Long Beach Poly guys, and those are probably guys that are potential 5 stars or 4 stars,
That's what
but
I'm
don't have the
saying.
grades
Yeah.
or something's off
Speedsters.
to where they're not
Something.
going to be able to get to like these these D1 uh blue chip programs. But hey
And
man,
but he's tapped into
absolutely,
definitely to Poly and to youth
absolutely
football. So I think
Yeah.
youth football in LA. So hey,
I'm
absolutely.
ready to see this, man. Shout
Hey,
out to him.
and and we'll discuss it. And I think engineer who you were talking about, just for the folks that don't know, Amarion Hampton out of UNC, running back out of UNC, he declared for the draft, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's who he was, who engineer was talking about earlier when he said Amarion is good as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, so man, we'll engineer, we'll definitely we got some stuff coming up with talk about the combine, talk
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
the draft, and where we
Yeah.
see like day one,
April
day
will
two,
be
day
here
three guys.
before you know it, baby.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So yeah, but
All
nah,
right.
we appreciate everybody for rocking with us.
Go ahead and tell
If
them,
you
Oob.
haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to Holy Trinity. We appreciate it. We definitely do.
All right. Two peas in a bong, y'all. We out.
Peace.
Peace.